Everything, house, music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeding, intact, your souls have no peeling. Everything, house, music, casting spells on unlearned beings, bringing them to the underground. These grooves are worthy, cause house music is where it's at. Believe me, everything, house, music.
Everything house music.
Yana yana yeah, yana yana yeah. Hale re rappe, hale re chami yo, hale re rappela, hale re la di geledi. Yana 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 bula, yana bula. Yana pula Yana pula. Yana pula
Everything, house, music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeding, intact. Your souls have no peeling. Everything, house, music, casting spells on unheard beings, bringing them to the underground. These grooves are worthy, cause house music is where it's at. Believe me, everything, house, music.
Evenings, everyone. Evenings. Thank you for joining us on Everything House Music on the last penultimate day. Penultimate, not the last day of May. The last day of May is tomorrow. Today, the 30th of May. This May has been going, but it's finally almost over. And the first song that we actually opened with was Yanapula by our guest this evening, Vanco SA. And on this one, he featured Uchoy music. So we're going to, of course, have another 2 hours of music, as well as conversation, as laughter, and knowledge, of course, that will be shared by our guest. So please do not mind to come up and grab the mic and be a part of the conversations and add to what Everything House Music has been for the last almost 2 years now. It's been going. It's been going. So thank you so much for joining us. It's gonna be a wonderful ride. But for now, just after we've played the first song, I want us to play another song. So we're gonna play another song because our guest this evening is just running a bit late, but it's okay, it's fine. So we're just gonna play another song so that he can come through and we can start our conversation with him. But before our DJ plays the music, um, please go check out our Spotify link, the Deep House Space Spotify link, a playlist that we update every Friday with new music. We do that because I mean we love this music and we want to propel it to the furthest of corners and circles around the world. So do check that out. We also have a really good and massive um, Instagram page. You can go and check that out. We keep on posting videos of artists' music that's been released and some of it that hasn't been released. So that's actually something really cool too. And we also have a TikTok page which is doing absolutely amazing. So those are pages that you can check out. From my side, I have a YouTube channel that you can literally just go search Voxman. You're gonna come across the same red bucket hat. And these interviews that we have with our guests, I'll, I upload them personally on my YouTube channel because I believe these conversations should last forever. So thank you again. So we're gonna play another song, and then we're gonna come back and start our conversation with our guest. I see the extravagant, super talented Vanco SA has joined us, so that's good. It's good. It's great. But Apuga Proam, please play us the next song on our checklist for tonight. Thank you.
To everything house music. Everything house music. Everything house music.
Thank you so much, Boga. Thank you so much for the music, brother. Shout out to Boga for the music. Wonderful song from our guest. So the song we just played is Zamegile. So that one is by Uvanko and Usi. Uh, oh, I can't say. I've always tried to say his name properly, but hopefully I get it right today. So the title of the artist on the song is our guest Uvanko, as well as C. Elisad. I hope I said that right. Yeah, and if I don't, please do correct me. And on vocals you have Ulizwi. Yes, and that song was actually released in a wonderful project which was released in 2020. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming through and joining us. I hope you enjoyed the first two songs. Our guest is here. But before we go to our guest, Vanko, I see your mic is already unmuted. Um, I'll just want to give the mic to our co-host, and then I'll come to you. Nah? Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. Let's start with Miss LP. Miss LP, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Everything House Music again. Thank you so much for joining us. Please unmute your mic.
Good evening. Hi, everybody. Bo, 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 bo. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. I actually just got home. So yeah, I basically flew home so that I can get here almost in time for the space. So really looking forward to it, just based on the music that we've heard so far. I think if you guys know me, you know me, I have a sweet spot for Afro House. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this evening progresses. So yeah, welcome to our wonderful guests. Thank you so much for honoring the invite. Thank you so much for our co-host, the host, our speakers, our listeners. I also have a soft spot for our listeners. I'll get into the details as to why a bit later. But yeah, guys, really, really looking forward to tonight. So yeah, thanks, Foxy.
Well, that's Miss LP. We've been doing this for quite a while with her. She's always super amazing. She's also a DJ herself, as well as an MC. So if you're looking for a DJ and an MC, and Miss LP is your best bet. Trust me, trust me. Next up, let me share the mic with the other co-host of Everything House Music, who also hosts a couple of spaces, namely the Deep House Space as well as the Top of Morning Space. Lloyd Incha, happy Tuesday. Please unmute your mic.
Hey, I'll check the DM, folks. I'll check the DM. Hey, anyway, um, we're here. Vox, ke sale busy nyana, guys. Kopela le mphe 10 minutes. Ke sale busy. Please check out DM. Ke tla tla ke dumedisa pila ke fetsa.
And that is Lloyd. Yeah, he's quite busy with posting videos on Instagram and TikTok. Doing amazing things for these pages that we have. So he's gonna be back as he mentioned, but it's okay. It's all good. Let's give the mic to our DJ, Puga. Happy Tuesday, Njami. Please unmute your mic.
Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is doing great. Hope everyone is doing well. It is of course a Tuesday. It is that time everything house music. And of course today we're still going Afro side. We're still going Afro house side, guys. As last week, I shouldn't last week's in particular. Yeah, this week, yeah, it's corner food. We have Vanco this time, I understand. As last week, we have Utak. So this week, we have Uvanco. We're still on the Afro side. So yeah, you're still going to see a more of Afro house scene. But nevertheless, thank you to each and everyone who pulled up. Share the space, share the space, share the space. Invite others. Tell them, Uvanco Corner. Tell them that we're doing Afro house way. Vandaag is hamba route Afro house, nje, one way. But nevertheless, thank you to each and everyone who's here who pulled up today. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's get into it, Vox. Yeah. I hope in kahle, you guys are comfortable. As of course the weather, I vumi, so I hope you have a cold one or a hot one. But yeah, sit comfortably and yeah, and enjoy. Vox.
Shout out to Boga. Boga is a DJ himself also. He's also a sound engineer. He's a producer. This man makes amazing music. Yes, I've played some of his music. So if you need a DJ also, if you want to book one, Boga is your man. Trust me. Trust me. And then lastly, from our team, I don't see Sis No Wonder today. Let's give the mic to Echo Pulsive. Echo Pulsive, happy Tuesday, bro. Please unmute your mic.
How's it going, everyone? Happy Tuesday.
Mizo.
My check. I'm having a bit of a network issue. I'm not sure what's in it, but hopefully, hopefully it works. I can't miss this. We have Vanco today. Everything house music every Tuesday. Today he graced us. Shout out to Vanco. Amazing music. Amazing, amazing music. Yeah, J. Playing his music is just it revives everyone. That's a session way. Yeah, bro. So yeah, looking forward to talking to him. And yeah, shout out to everyone who's in the space and invite your friends. Don't let them listen to bad music. Don't let them miss space. And shout out to Vox. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Echo Pulsive. Echo Pulsive is a producer. He actually released an amazing song he released it on the Ad Jazz record label. Imagine that. The title of the song is Only He. And I even saw a post from Ad Jazz himself giving some praises to the young man. So shout out to Echo Pulsive. You can actually check out his music. Wonderful music, wonderful stuff. So that's the team. That's the team for today. Sis No Wonder, I think she's unavailable, but she probably will join us. And be welcome also if you're a listener. If you want to just add into the conversation, or wanna maybe give some flowers to our guest, ask a few questions, don't be shy. Don't be shy at all, please. This is a very, very safe space. We've been doing this for almost 2 years. So it's a very, very safe space. Without further ado, let me share the mic with our guest. Someone who's very traveled. Is very traveled, this man. And I think before we start off the conversation, I'm gonna ask about the travel in Africa, up north in Africa. Hopefully, he's got some good stuff to mention about them. So, Vanco, brother, welcome to Everything House Music. Happy Tuesday. Please admit your mic.
Unmuted. All up with.
Perfect. Perfect, mfowethu.
Yeah, you can hear me, Angisha.
Sikuzwa kahle nje.
Thank you, Vox man. Thanks, man, for having me. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, man, we great. We great. We've been waiting for this. I think it's been over a month now.
Oh man, same here, man. I've been looking forward to it, and I'm a big fan of the channel. Sometimes I pop in when you guys have a different guest, and it's an amazing thing that you're doing, man. Shout out to you guys and your team.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We often say that besides our guests, I mean our spaces are what they are today because of the listeners too. So,
For
but thank you
sure.
for so much for the flowers and gracing us with your presence on Everything House Music.
No, it's all love, man. It's all good energy and love and respect. 100.
Thank you, thank you. As
Yeah.
I was mentioning, quite recently you were playing in Nigeria.
Yeah, 2 weeks
Quite
ago.
recent. Yes, that's like quite recent. And and I mean Africa right now we are booming with all kinds of sounds, all kinds of vibes in terms of music. I mean your Afro beats is doing amazing things in Africa as well as overseas. I mean,
Exactly.
how was the vibe in Nigeria welcoming Uvanko? Thank you.
So I'll just take you back a little bit. So it's my third time going to Nigeria, ne? So my first time was 2020. I think I was the last artist they booked before lockdown. That was in February. So that was my first time going to Nigeria, and look, it's a mind blowing place. It's they very welcoming people. That's one thing I'm gonna say. Very welcoming, loving people, and I think sometimes if we are coming from this side of the or of the this part of the world, we have different stereotypes about a lot of things. And one thing I learned is just you just have to unlearn and relearn those things. You know, they just amazing people, great people, good towards everyone. And what shocked me is they are very clued up with the music. They know the songs that we are dropping. And for the crowd that they're building there, it's a mixed crowd or different people from different cultures and different races. So basically, there's a lot of Indians, there's a lot of Lebanese people. So it feels like you're in South Africa in a different town, you know. So my first experience was mind blowing, and I had a chance to meet Debanj. He came through to check out the show, and me playing, and then it was cool. And he met his wife, and you just connect with people on a different level than just on online and everything. And then my second time to Nigeria, same promoters, different location. It was in 2022, last year in June. And I just got the same reception, just amazing. The crowd has grown bigger, maybe 1,000 plus now. And then now, 2 weeks ago, it was amazing. It was the biggest because they had to move to a new, different venue. Because for this show, like I think I had packed so many people, probably 2,500, somewhere there. I'm not really sure, but it was like a ridiculous number, the biggest they've ever done, I think. And yeah, man, and I've built a cool following there. When you keep going to the same place and people keep on playing your music, they appreciate your music. And as we progress as people or as artists in our own spaces, people see that. And now that because of the power of social media, the world becomes such a very small place. So everyone gets clued up with what we're doing. So I give Nigeria 110%, and I think I'll make it a point in my life to go there once a year.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I like this first submission nje uyabonisa nje ukuthi sazoba nengxoxo emnandi namhlanje so thank you so much man, thank you so
I
much
appreciate it, man.
for just
Yeah,
elaborating also. I mean, I just asked about two
exactly.
weeks ago but you went back, so thank you so much for that.
Yeah, yeah, a bit of insight because people would just see it now, but it's always nice. I always believe just to tell the story, so that there are no gray or lines that are misunderstood.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also just talking about your travels. When I mean when you go and you play, especially in Africa. Okay, before we get to Europe and Ibiza, I mean you've played there too. You've been amazing. Um, I mean, is there a distinctive um, maybe personality that actually booking you for? I mean, when I say that, I mean, are they booking you for who Vanco is as a person with his character, or are they booking your sound because Afro tech is also booming there? How is it looking actually? Yeah, as far as up north in Africa compared to also in South Africa, I guess.
Okay, so to answer your question direct, first and foremost is the sound, is the music that that put me in these spaces. And then from the music, after when I have the chats with Nabantu nje, then they'll be like, oh wow, you're actually a cool person, and I like you as a person. And yeah, we just grow from there. So I would say it's the music first, and then personality grows. Yeah.
No, because I'm also asking that because the follow up to that was you've played at Ibiza, you played alongside the likes of Uple Kofi, and today Uple Kofi, perhaps even the music that we know him for in South Africa is not the music that he actually plays, right? Which is quite astounding. But he's a beautiful figure and he's being booked each and everywhere all around the globe. We seeing the same thing with you. What's the catch to that, Vanko? Please. I mean, what's got to do with so much traveling? What's got to do with perhaps playing so much across South African borders? Yes. What is it adding, perhaps also to your vibe and to your career? Thank you.
Okay. So I would just want to just break it down into two. So when I look at it from where I'm standing, music is a 9 to 5, just like another corporate job you jump into. So when you jump into corporate or into any other job or cap, there's your personality, which is something that you're born with, and things that you're capable of doing, things that you grew up with. That's one end. And then the other end is the talent itself doing the magic. So in people have different journeys. That's one thing I've learned in this business of hours of entertainment. Great. I would like to believe everyone is talented. Everyone is special in their own way. But what separates us from one another, I think, becomes the the approach we do in the music thing. So like in my case, what I had to do with these travels, just to answer your question, I had to invest in myself, like because I had to put myself in these spaces, because I saw that there was more love like outside, more especially in Europe, you know. And then I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I should just jump in. That becomes something that you're not taught. It's a thing that you need to feel for yourself as a person or as an individual. You could be a doctor working at maybe in 4 ways or a bar or anyway, but no one tells you that now it's time for you to open your own practice. So that's character. So I'm just mixing it up, going back and forth. So what happened is I just went to Netherlands 2018. That was my first time actually going there. And for me, when I get there, people are taking pictures with me. And then that was That was the start of everything. And then that's when I realized that I think I need to work on myself and actually put more fire. How do I like upscale myself, and how do I progress from here? And then I just networked with different promoters from there. And then when I came back here at home, you start getting, because of also social media, people seeing that you're in these spaces, and then they could DM me and be like, "When are you coming back to Europe?" And then that's how I started my journey. And also from learning from people that are close to me. That's the other thing I forgot to say, because before I started making music, I was the guy always partying, being around people that are already doing this thing, the likes of your Cuba, the likes of Kasango actually, but he was Kesnova then. And people were like Bo Clock, DJ Clock. They were like, what, DJ Cleo? Like even Euphonic. I was just around, just watching them from a close range. So yeah, and then you progress from there. You learn the business, you grow, you go back to the drawing board. But more than anything else, you have to have that personality of wanting more. So it becomes more about your personality, feeding off your talent, whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree, and it's also good and amazing to see the projection in terms of how your career also, just to mention that, on how it's progressed in terms of being noticed overseas, across the globe. I mean, to mention one interview that I remember quite well, there was an interview that you had at the Ministry of Sound, um, in November. I think it was in November 2021,
Yes.
where Kid Funk was actually the host. I think it was the host, right? Vank, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. It Defected Studios in
Yes, and
London.
there was Jeff, and there was Seth Combo, and it was,
Kitty.
yeah, Kitty Amo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how is it to be a part of such conversations, where now you're reckoned as a global phenomenon? I mean, when I was talking about the interview itself, I mean, you have Kid Funk, who has established himself as a huge label head, and now he's working in Defected itself, and the likes of Jeff has been doing so greatly for his career, and Kitty Amo and Sif, who's also a part of Sondela. So how is it? How does it feel, man, to be a part of such discussions and to be noticed as furthest as that? Thank you.
Um, it feels amazing, and it's also motivation for you as a person, Ebo. And more than anything, more of the story, it just shows that there's something that you're doing that people want to be part of. And so how you reciprocate from that becomes your own story you tell from the people. So to mention, actually, with those like with Kid Funk, it was actually my first time having a one-on-one encounter with Kid Funk in my life. That's the amazing part about that show that Defected Records does to that Ministry of Sound. So it was quite interesting for me, and it was an honor for me, just to be around those people, learning from them, and moving on to someone like Jeff. For the greater part, I would say Jeff has contributed so much in my career from the start. We just connected, man, back in 2000, and I could say 19 or something there, because of music. He likes your music, and we got booked together also in at June in Paris, and then we played a back to back together. We just bonded like brothers, and Jeff would actually get me gigs. Some of my very first gigs in Europe, I got them through Jeff. The agency I'm on right now, if it wasn't for Jeff, I don't think I would have been there. I would be there currently. And same thing applies to Seth Combo and Kitty. It's all also in Mkulo. They liked what I was doing, and they came here in South Africa. They met me. You bond with people. It stops being about the music, and it becomes more personal. and they start coming to your gigs all over the globe, you know, especially when you're in Europe, because it's like accessible, easily accessible. So back to your question, man, it's an honor to be part of that. And more of the story, everyone that sits on a table from where I'm from where I'm seeing things, there is a story behind it. People build these things. People build these spaces to be in order for you to be part of this table. So I've built relationships with almost entirely everyone, you know, to be there. And obviously work ethic, I guess, you know. Look, there's so many people doing what I do, but I'm just fortunate and grateful that I made it and I'm there. And I think I'll also want to represent that going forward. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And besides making it, I mean, you still gonna be causing some huge havocs. Um, I mean, I heard the snippet of the song that we're gonna be playing today, which is unreleased.
So
Yes. So yeah, things are still gonna things are gonna be heavy, I guess, right?
yeah, you know, I'm still gonna do this thing I love called music. You know, it makes us happy, and I think it makes other people happy too. It's a Babizan, it's a soul healer, yeah, for all of us.
No, man, I love that. I love that so much. I love that so much.
Exactly.
Um, Vanko sesikhulumile, I think sesixoxile mhlawumbe uma 20 minutes kanje. I don't want to exhaust your voice. You still
For
probably
sure.
have dozens of other interviews lined up for you for the next 50 years or so. Um,
Yeah. I'm
so for
listening.
now, I just want to play another song. So we're just gonna take a small drinks break, nyana nje, small music break. Where we'll play another one of your songs, and then we'll come back with more conversations with you.
Sure, but let's go.
Sibongile kakhulu, sibongile kakhulu. And shout out to each and every person that's here. Thank you so much for joining us. I see even Unaine is also here. We've had him on the Deep House Space. Shout out, man. Shout out.
Shout out
Uh,
Nane.
Absolutely amazing vocalist, that man. He
True,
is
true. Very
indeed.
talented. Yeah.
And as I said, we're gonna play another song. Puga the DJ. Please cue us the next song, my brother, and thank you.
Everything house music. This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music. This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music.
And that was PUMUA. Yeah. Hope I'm saying that right. Vanco. Vanco, did I say it right? PUMUA.
PUMUA. Yeah,
PUMUA.
I also don't know how to pronounce it because it's
Hey, I
Swahili.
got it too. Hey, I
Yeah,
got it totally
PUMUA.
wrong. Hey, but thank you so much. I was just thinking to myself, let me Kluma wrong. Lately, what does it
Listen,
mean in Swahili?
it means breathe.
Okay, lovely, lovely.
So
And
it's from. Uh-huh.
yeah, carry on, please.
So PUMUA comes from there's an EP I dropped under Gunye called Breathe. So there's a track called Breathe. The first track in that EP is called Breathe. And so this was more like an instrumental side B of that track. And I was traveling from Kenya. I was going to play in Kenya, my first time to play in Kenya. And then I just thought to myself, what does breathe mean in Swahili? And then I went on Google, and then it gave me Pumwa. Then yeah, that's how I made it. So basically, it's breathe, different languages, English and Swahili.
Lovely, lovely stuff indeed. And I mean, this release was almost a year ago now. Gugunye, as you just mentioned.
For sure.
Before ngigaya abantu, chance yazi kuningi engikhulumile bazokhala yazi. Um, how was it releasing under Igunya? I mean, it's such a new stable, but it's doing so amazing in terms of groundwork, in terms of events and releasing music. So how was that for you too?
It was a fair release. I won't lie. It was a fair release. They did what they could do in their best opinion, and I'm grateful for what they did. But obviously, there's a room to have done things differently. But yeah,
As always,
yes,
indeed, as always.
yeah.
So I'm gonna pass on the mic to Miss LP. Um, I know she's a huge fan of your sound and your music, and probably you too.
It's amazing.
She was probably dancing her lungs off. Yo, bakhala iculo lakho. So
For sure.
I'm gonna give her the mic. But before I,
Yeah,
I, I give her the mic, just want to give a shout out to Atmos Black. I actually met him this past weekend. Hey, he was playing like fire in Cape Town. Yo,
amazing soul, man. Brilliant,
yeah.
talented.
Aye, Superman.
Uh,
Superman indeed.
Shout out to Atmos.
Miss LP, um, as your presence guides us, please, on everything house music, please unmute your mic. Thank you.
I thought we were saving the best for last, but anyway, it's fine. So it's probably the excitement that actually had you have me go first. But yeah, I was actually dancing in the background while I was busy having supper. So thank you, Vanko. Um, thank you so much. You just took me back to a time when I was still in probably primary school, high school. I was one of those people that used to go to discos and all that stuff. So that's where my sort of, I would say, like electronic house music sort of love started. And what I love about what you've done is it's basically electro, but with a lot of like soul. So yeah, thank you. Music is something else. I'm gonna start it at I think grassroots level because ubutwethu uvoxman host uvele wayikha esihlahleni, you know. So I'm gonna ask us just to go back a little bit. In terms of the grassroots. So how did Vanco come to be? And I'm talking not even just the name, but like you as a person, where do you come from? Just to give everybody a bit of a background, you know, where does your love for music stem from? Any influences that we need to know about from a personal space, you know, in industry as well, anything that has really shaped who you've become as a person, but more importantly, for the purpose of this exercise, as a, let's say, muso of some sort.
Okay, so Vanco is from Douglasdale, Johannesburg. And the Vanco name actually it comes from me watching a movie. So the movie is like I don't know if you guys have watched American Gangster before. So I was it's the movie I was watching. It's more or less on the TP American Gangster, got Denzel Washington. So I didn't like my previous name that I had back then. So Bebang Bizo Sniper or Snipes. And I didn't really want it any association with oh Snipes. That's like Wesley Snipes who played me. Or one guy my nightmares out growing up. So I've always never wanted anything or any relationship with that name. So and then it just happened that I was just watching a Latin Italian movie, and then on the credits, look on your out in to a Banco, and I didn't like Banco because I was like Banco sounds doesn't sound cool, doesn't sound sexy, and then I started replacing amagama like the first letter B with the alphabetical letters from A to Z. Fika kuThanko, Wanko, ngathi Vanco, athi ayiyo ke. Siyabangena ke manje. And then that's how I stopped. And then I named myself Vanco. And then I went back to Facebook. I had to change. I had to change my older nickname, Sniper, and into Vanco. Actually, at first I was Vanco Sniper. So I was trying to win off Sniper. Kancane yabo. And then eventually I keep Sniper. I think Boma 2017, yeah. Then I thought, no, I didn't keep a Sniper. I didn't keep it. And then I just left Vanco. And then I had to, carry Vanco all the way until now. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I feel like there was so much science behind it. Yeah, no, and then here we come, Ngabo Miss LP. Yeah, we feel so basic, you know. There's no relation to some significant movies or anything to that effect.
Where
But
does
yeah, no.
LP come from?
Since I've been now.
Ah, I know, I understand, but I want to
Ah.
get inspiration.
Ungawari bona ungawari ngifollowe lapho sokhuluma kuma DM ngiyadlala. So
Issue.
angithi phela
Yeah.
you've also thrown a bit of a spin on hey, we also wanted to be sexy, nan. So
Well,
no, we caught all of that. We really did.
well.
But thanks for that. Thank you for the background. So you'll see, because we've got these technical, guys and all that stuff. I usually try and, give people a little bit of a different experience. So one that's probably a little bit more on the softer side, really getting to know the artist more than just the art itself.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
we've spoken about the grassroots. Now you've mentioned a few people that you've worked with. Maybe if you can just talk us through. Let's start with mentors, right? Are there any
Okay.
mentors that you would, or people that have mentored you, coached you along the way that you would like to give recognition to? No pressure. And then also, maybe just highlighting the importance when you are in the industry. You've mentioned some people who've also thrown gigs your way. Obviously, you've worked, to get to those places, but there are people who've pointed you into the right direction. So, do you want to maybe make a mention of a few of those people, and then also maybe tell us the importance of having coaches and mentors along the way?
Okay. So I've never had a mentor, first of all, but I've had people that have contributed. They've been like, how can I say? I could say music colleagues, people that want the best for you, more like on a click base. First and foremost, there's a guy called Andile Majola. He's a DJ in Thailand. No, Thailand. Singapore now. He's based in Singapore now. So he's the very first guy that I'll give credit to because he was studying at Solkend and Mina being from the efforts and I'd bank classes to go to Soul Candy. Not to say people should bank classes. No, that's bad. I'm just narrating my story. So Andile Majola, wayangifundisa nje like basics into music production, and he introduced me to Cuba, and then Cuba then took me with, he was doing his thing, but his door was always open, and I got to know Cuba beyond just him as an artist. He's my Tonga brother, and we've become I think he's my brother from another mother. So Cuba has always been there for me, and and he's played a big role music wise, plugging me, enlightening me, and then at that same time I had also a very close friend, Ricardo Matebula. Like in your first years of music, to get a manager, it's crazy. And this guy just said, he believes in me and he wants to be part of my journey for life. I was like, how is that possible? And and then we just became friends that become family. Till today, he doesn't manage me, but he's still part of my career. I give him his flowers, Ricardo Matebula and Cuba and Sunshine. And it's just like any other industry. We forever progressing as human beings. We move in different levels. By progressing, I mean uh, we transcend into time. We evolve as people, and we get to meet different people at different levels and heights. So I've met people like Jeff, Diago. Give him his flowers. He's played so much a big role for me. Collaborated with them, and he's given enlightened me, and he's introduced me to his fan base, into his network, of pushing music. Only a few people can do that. I've had a chance also to mix with Pablo Fierro as well. Pablo Fierro has played a great part in terms of production, also, just guiding me, and also working with him, from afar. Even though we haven't made a song, we're yet to make one. But look, he books me at his gigs in Ibiza, and he's the reason why I went to Ibiza last year, and I'm going to Ibiza again now in June, in a few weeks' time. I said 3 weeks' time. And Jeff as well. I've played with Jeff so many times in Paris, and now we're gonna do Angola, Portugal. His door is always open in Cuba as well. And Black Coffee. Funny enough, he we share a mutual friend called Mario. That mutual friend also has played a big role in my journey. Mario Bedbox is from London. We just connected, just me and him. He happens to be a very close friend of Black Coffee, Nati. Yeah. So Mario also has played a big role in terms of pushing me, putting me in some spaces where I couldn't be in. And so I happened to be the Ngatini, um, the younger, the younger, energetic, driven individual around them, as we would call them, a Mahrotman. So Black Coffee also has played a big role with me in introducing me to a very prominent person who's my new management now. So he's been there. I ask him questions, and sometimes he just passes things through without me knowing that he said something about me. I only find out after that he was part of the conversation. So he's part of that too. And look, the list is endless. My family goes out to my family, and the listeners who are listening. They're part of my growth, because I wouldn't be where I am, and being able to be also recognized by these people that find me, if it wasn't for the listeners and my family helping me up, and my partners. Yeah. So that's been my journey.
Wow, sure. It seems like there's quite a few people quite a lot, in fact, of people that really have been influential in terms of where you come from and your growth. That's quite inspiring to hear.
True,
I think
exactly.
on that tip, because you mentioned so many people, I'm going to put you on the spot even more, and ask you, of those collabos that people that you've worked with, who would you say, or maybe give us top three of your favorite collabos and why? And then, so three maybe of your the favorite collabos, and then maybe one or two that you aspire to work with.
That's a tough one, because it's it's so it's so different, and in its own way. As I hope because every song has done wonders for me. Has done, when I mean wonders, I mean it has taken me from one place to another place. And I've always learned. So it's very hard. Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. Ish, ish,
And here at home, we don't plead the fifth, ne?
ish. I have one song that's special to me, Luto, featuring Jabulo Se. A reason why Unjabulo is a opposite that I used to play basketball with. And funny enough, me, Tibbs, the late Tibbs, rest in peace to him, we used to play basketball together with this um, a friend of mine, Unjabulo Se, the guy who wrote and sang on Luto. And yeah, things just changed for me, and people started looking at me differently, consuming my music differently, and put me on a pedestal. They, they put you in, and I appreciate him so much, and because he's a jazz musician as well, and you learn so much, like the bass, like the in depth of music, music theory and stuff. So yeah, and Jabulo say, look, everyone that I've worked with special, but Jabulo say just gave me that breakthrough. And I think I would like to say Yana Pole as well, with Troy Music, would do me, did the most as well for me. And yeah.
Okay, so in terms of moving forward, any specific names that you would like to? I mean, we here, we are receiving, the blessings and everything. Any names that you'd like to mention that you aspire to work with, as well as why?
I would definitely would love to work with Tandu Samazwai, and yeah, some with Black Coffee would be good too. And hmm, and Jamie Foxx. Yes. Yeah, my list is done.
You have to tell us why.
Why Jamie Foxx?
All of them, but especially Jamie Foxx.
So Jamie Foxx he's an entertainment icon in my world that I've always looked up to. In my world, I feel like Jamie Foxx is the least appreciated but very impactful being in the black entertainment. And I don't want to put race or anything, but I can relate. He's a brother that represents me. His work ethic, whatever he touches, just gets gold. So, like, he inspires me a lot. It's very. I find it hard getting inspired by musicians or entertainers, but I just find myself getting inspired by what Jamie Foxx does. So even in his work ethic, in him doing acting, it transcends into my music. Even by him doing music is even like you know top for me. So yeah, Jamie Foxx is something. Yeah, I call it greatness in entertainment, and as a whole, whatever he touches turns gold. So yeah, man, and I like his whatever he's about, that I know, that I've exposed to because of social media. Look, I haven't met the guy. I would love to meet him and understand the kind of person he is and learn more from him in terms of what we do as art. And Black Coffee, I like his taste for music. Um, we and his ideologies, what the way he thinks in terms of the music. So yeah, and I would learn a lot also from him, you know. And Tandu Samazwai, I grew up listening to a lot of her songs. So it's basically the inner child me wanting to relive my dreams, and that would be a huge dream come true. So before Brayuma Segela passed on, that was my first uh, in that. jazzy or world of people. So now that Brian is not with us, Tandiswa filled in that gap for me. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. And again, I think as you said, Jamie Foxx, very underrated, right? But it also makes me think, yo, I wonder how old you are. But anyway, asikho lapho. What's your real name?
I'm Kusai blessing my warrior.
Okay, thank you for that. Pleasure to meet you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to ask you one or two more questions. I don't want to hog, but I do want to get through my questions so that at least I can give everyone else an opportunity to speak and I won't interrupt them. I promise you guys.
For sure.
Maybe just yeah, you've mentioned with the different countries where you've performed. You've mentioned Nigeria. You mentioned Kenya. If you have to compare the reception in terms of South Africa, right, in terms of the music that you produce, in terms of yeah, basically the music that you produce, where would you say has been the greatest reception of all these countries where you've performed?
In the world,
Yes, well, let's say Africa for now.
for me, Nigeria just took it off to the next level. I won't lie. The last 2 weeks, I think for me, the reception was just insane, amazing. But obviously, home is nice. I'm not gonna lie. But then, my issue, my thing with home is we're not oblivious of the fact that piano is taken over. So the sound and the music I make, it's more of in a niche market. And I think the reception is there. I've seen it from online presence and these spaces. I haven't had an actual experience as of late. Maybe I could say after lockdown, I haven't had an actual experience of sharing that energy with a lot of people here at home. So that's why Nigeria and other African countries becomes a big part in my journey. Yeah.
And the interesting part about that is, I think at times people rush so much to, go international, but don't necessarily consider continental. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. So I think thank you for that. Very educational what you've just said. I will ask for yeah. So basically, just on the I think topic of relativity in terms of reception, the accessibility part. So yes, while we're talking about you've been very blessed, you've had opportunities to perform in these African countries. For a person who's not so maybe well known, how do you how would you describe or how do I put it? How would you describe the accessibility? Like how do people actually access those markets or those countries that you've actually been able to access? How does one get it right? I know you've mentioned a little bit of networking. Outside of that.
Yes. So networking is a bigger thing, but I'm a believer of you don't know until you try, or until you ask or ask. So what I mean by that, I basically mean that whether you're big or you're small, you need to you gotta shoot your shot. That's how I started, and that's how I still live. And this is my journey. There's places where I've seen for myself that, geez, they don't they don't book people of my caliber, but I don't stop. I ask. So I'm not thinking I'm not known or I'm big. It's about what do I want, and for whoever is listening and whoever that's wanna progress in their career, even if I mean it's not music, anything that you want to do in life, you just have to ask. Go there, show up, knock on the door, ask them, kokota lapha. If they open the door, they open the door. If they don't, they don't. Because we like to put so many stories around and quote things so much. But I have no answers. None of us has answers. You just have to do it. And then you tell us. So yeah, that's my answer.
Wow, that's very powerful. And it's interesting because I think sometimes we think that it's really that difficult. Not to say that it's easy, but as you said, the worst that you can get is a no, and then we move.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think, yeah. If are there any other words of wisdom, especially for people who are on the brink of giving up. This industry is very tough. You know, you need to have a certain level of thick skin. You would know that better than me. Certain level of thick skin, and every day is different. You know, there are days when you literally just up there in the sky and you're on cloud nine. There's days when you literally are down there in the dumps. It's literally just a yo-yo. Are there any other words of wisdom, especially for that person who's on the brink of giving up? And then I'll rest it there.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't like to call them words of wisdom, but let's say um, a discussion. Basically, a discussion, because wisdom becomes relative. So we live in a world where it's social media driven. So what's on social media, it's fake. It's not really real. We all selling a perception, doing whatever we're doing. Some of us, some of I don't know. But the word entertainment is to entertain. It's a different world. It's not a reality, but it's an escapism. The way I look at it, that escapism helps you balance up your life. So you just have to have your own personal goals and walk your own journey. That's all I can say. Because there's time of the thing of giving up. I think it's because of social media. That goes for anyone else, or social media, or sometimes because somebody did it. Now you feel like you wanna do it. Whereas I thinking it's still about self being self driven, and your own goals that you see for yourself, not because LP is doing this or Foxman. Rather get inspiration from that, and then you carry on, and maybe help it finesse or fine tune that into your own journey, and then we won't give up. I don't think we'll be in a space of giving up. And look, there's ups and downs, but we gotta keep doing it. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Such I know you don't want to call it wisdom, but and it is relative, but I will take it as wisdom. As long as you've walked
Danko.
towards a certain journey and you have a story to
Thank you.
tell, for me
Yeah.
that is wisdom. So really appreciate you.
No, thanks,
I
LP.
appreciate just also your story. You know, it's been really interesting having to listen to you. And thank you for sharing. I know at times we put you guys you know, in a position of sort of vulnerability also, where you need to expose certain elements of you, and you guys do it so well, more specifically you in this instance. So really appreciate you, and looking forward to listening to the rest of the interviews. Voxy, thank you, and thanks again, Vanko.
Thank you, Miss LP.
Thank you, Miss LB. Vanko, at some point, did they call you Vanko Vonko, Vinko? Did you get there probably at some point?
Bathi Vankora. Angiyifuni le nto. Bathi Vankora time of it. No, 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 no.
Yes, you know, I can imagine. I can imagine. Now, no, Miss
Thanks.
LP ngapha ungibiza ngelinye igama nami ngingalasini umthathana, but
Uthini ukubiza ubani?
uthi Voxy. Uthi Voxy.
Wenele.
Yebo. Yabona nje leyo. But Shana, thank you so much, Miss LP. Thank you for gracing our presence as always.
True,
Gracing your yeah, your beautiful self on everything house music. She's amazing. Oh, she's super amazing.
true.
Before I pass on the mic to our next speaker, we'll give it to Upoga. Shout out to Mr. Sondela himself in the space, Yusuf Kombo. He's actually
Hey.
here.
That's my brother, man. That's my brother, man, right there.
Nah, Superman, this one is doing great stuff.
True.
There's been a couple of changes though in Sondela.
Uh-huh.
I'm very interested to know. I mean, perhaps more reasoning behind it because I've just seen a couple of new changes. But it's interesting and to
For
see it
sure.
happen, and of course, it's progression and everything else. But shout out, Tiff. Thank you for joining us, brother. For now, let's pass on the mic to another Afrotech lover.
For
This man,
sure.
yes, he makes Afrotech, he plays it, he loves it so much.
Aish.
We actually had a challenge at some point
Oh, yeah?
driving, and yo, I mean, I sort of lost, but they were unfair to me. These people, Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, yeah.
Kapuga, please unmute your mic, brother.
Ulu. Hi, Sister Corner. We're still here. Everything house music, of course it is. Exe, Vanco Abuti, Shafere.
Walapho to Krenfeta number one.
Mnandi. Yazi in Vanco
Yes.
Pana mna ngicambela manga ne.
Sure,
After
but
Spring Fiesta njayam. After Klangana now. No Takapo, the Africa Deep. Remember I took
okay.
your numbers, right?
Yes.
Yes, I was supposed to. Yes, that's the moment I called Vox. I told Vox, yo, Vox, Ovanko's in, right? But now my problem was that I didn't follow up with you. Due to what? Due to esinye isipani besingibambile ngamawashini scheme yo ngicela
For
ungixolele for
sure.
that.
Aye,
And
man.
but
Man,
I'm
not.
glad that
Uh-huh.
he managed to come back to you, Vox, and yeah, here
Yeah,
we are.
amazing.
And
For sure.
yeah, it's just a blessing, man. After seeing you, it was just
Sure.
great, man. How have you been, though, man? Have you been good? How's everything? Though?
I'm good, man. Good, blessed. You know, our industry is full of challenges, and we take it as
As
we
as always.
move. Yeah, just like life. But
Always.
I'm grateful. There's just so many things happening in the world, man. But yeah,
It's a blessing.
and I hope you're good, man.
I'm excited to push up with Tommy. But I
That's
have
well.
before I go into the questions, I have just one request. One request. Putomi, if you can, please, and I'm with you. Can you please bring Cuba for us? Stinger, just Cuba. Yabana man's let's Cuba. Personally, for me, I would love to have Cuba here on our space. But yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
done.
So when you
Consider
wait,
that done.
Malcorn and she's still
That's done.
yeah,
That will
Malcolm
do.
Siyabonga kakhulu. So, okay,
Nazo.
let's step into it. Let's start here. What is Afro house music, and what is the difference between Afro house, Afro tech, and deep tech?
Okay. Oh, in my own, that's my own opinion that you're asking. I get.
Yeah, in your own opinions.
Okay. Afro house. It's a blend of entirely African elements from Africa, and Afrotech is a blend and a mix of elements from Africa with a bit of touch, rather called spice, from other elements. With a bit of touch of other elements from other parts of the world. So that's when it starts crossing cultures between Africa and Europe and Americas and Asia, because tech, I think, in my own opinion, tech it's a techno it's a Western culture. You know, they interpret it differently to us. So that's Afrotech. That's how I would like to think. A blend, a mix of African elements with uh, elements from around the world. And deep tech. Deep tech, hey, yeah, failure, man. Hey, okay. Deep tech, I would like to say it's a more smoother approach to techno elements. And yeah, smooth, easygoing with more rhythm. That's how I define deep tech. And a bit of soul. A little bit of soul. And by the way, Afro house, there's more soul. I forgot that. Yeah, I'm done.
Aye, Asbong. Aye, beautiful one. You were able to explain it because, or reason why I asked this, we
Uh-huh.
tend to have a lot of people who say they listen to a genre which is called Afro House, but they can't describe the sound. So I would have people saying, "Dude, there's this sound that you are playing, but I don't know what's it called? Like what's it called?" Ibiza ngani?" So
For
that's
sure.
why I wanted you, because you're already in the scene, Afro tech, or
Uh,
Afro house. Let me put it that to be specific, Afro house. So I needed you to clarify that. Okay, second question. What's your take with AI, music AI that we are having, where it can recreate lyrics for vocalists, or regenerate their voice like exactly the way it is, and people get to use that voice and then use it on their songs. What's your take on AI and it being able, because there's a website where now it can be able to create a beat for you from scratch, and then keep it up. But the way when you add, the more you add, the more it gives you. So, what's your take about AI?
I think AI, I'm going to say, is the world evolving into a space that we have to evolve with and catch up with. So, what I mean by that is, I'll take you back before you were streaming music, there was vinyl. Imagine living in the days of vinyl. Well, there's people that have lived in the days of vinyl, and now they're streaming music on the cloud. Yeah, they've been complaining sales, jobs, there. But it's crazy how human mind adapts and evolves. So back to your question of AI. I don't have the answers today, but what I can tell you is I want to adapt and find out what's more in store for me. I mean, I can't complain about AI when we have websites like Splice that sells melodies and sell vocals and free piano melodies. AI is as good as me having a session musician. You're a producer. I get it. Sometimes you want to have a guy that plays guitar for you, plays a piano for you. You get that guy to come in a session. Some mali yakhe. Whether I don't know what the deal is. Sometimes these guys won't get paid. But ekugcineni ingoma yakho angisho, since you are the producer and the artist, it's the same thing as AI. I could log on AI now, and fun fact, I use AI myself when I'm writing songs or when I'm writing a proposal. I tell AI, what do you think about this biography, or about my biography? Please write it in a superstar way. And then I see what it puts out. Please write it in a high level, extremely high level musical rockster language. AI produces that. So let's let's see and let's adapt, and we can only learn. It's here now. That's all I can say. I don't know what you think.
Aye, nice one, nice one. I tend to ask such questions because we differ as producers, and therefore our results when it comes to AI, it's different, and therefore on your side, ngiyabona ukuthi hayi umuntu wa-future like vele when you're already keeping up vele ne future vele already with the technology that is happening. And then now let's tap into the producing side.
Okay,
Um,
before you move on, I just want to add
yes,
something on that AI. As I said,
sure.
a- AI at the end of the day, it's a computer basing on the information that's been there before. But you can't you can't retell a story of of a human touch. So like AI can produce same maybe podcasts like this, but they can't entirely do the same thing as how we are doing, right? How we're talking, the emotion behind all these things. AI doesn't have those things. So at the end of the day, it's an entry level. Sharp, I get it. But there's no way a human being is a human being. That's a computer. There's no there's that human element that a computer will never have, and is a given in my own world. Yeah, but that's my thinking.
Goodman. Let me ask one last question and then we move on because hey,
Yeah.
oh lacha, mangithu Goodman ya lacha. Awufuni ukubiza Goodman.
How old
I
are you, if
mean,
I may ask you?
yeah, are you sure? Already you are in the game, pal.
How
Already
old
you are
are
in the
you?
game. Makuthiwa Goodman, it doesn't mean I have age. Ngihamba
Okay, okay,
nge-experience.
ngiyakuzwa. Hayi ngiyakuzwa ke.
Yabo,
Hayi
ngihamba
ke.
nge-experience. Sure.
Hayi ke.
So let's step into the
Yeah,
music scene now,
yeah.
the production side.
Mhm.
Which software do you use and which software do you prefer for the sound that you are making? And how do you start making when we say you are making a beat? What do you start with? Some people start with a bass line, some start with the vocals. Will listen to the vocals if ever it's a remix. They would start to percussion. When are what's your take and how do you proceed when it comes to that?
Okay, so I've always used, and I will prefer using, and I'll always use Reason. And currently, I'm using Reason 10. Yeah, Propeller Heads, that's the company. So Reason 10. I just upgraded to Reason 12. And moving on to your next part of your question, you asked me about my process, my production process. So I take you a bit back. When I started off, I used to mesh my songs with people like Rocco, Bodhisattva, Mark Romboy, and I would start with percussions, build up from percussions, and melodies. From melodies, ends there because I didn't understood the vocal, and then I had to learn, and it's always been in me. I think growing up, like, because I didn't go to school for music, I don't know what C major, D major, what minor, but I can play the keys. I know that the scale is right, this is right, or whatever this is right, and I'm still open to learn more. Having said that, so and then I evolve from the phase of starting from a song with percussions into starting with the melody, and from melody I get the vocalist, and from vocalist I get the groove. To a point now, I'm versatile. It depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes you could send me a vocal, if the vocal in puts in inflicts certain motions in me that can inspire me to write music. So by writing music, I'll start with melody, go in the bass line and everything. So I don't have a process. So to answer your question, currently I'm driven by emotions and life experiences. So like right now we're talking. Maybe the way you're laughing, I could hear, I this one laughs. Hey, what rasa this one? Maybe I could sample that thing, and then yeah, shy school project. But what is school? That means it's more of like drum into a hamba. That's the thing. But if Miss LP is smooth, is sweet, well spoken, that's more like smooth vibe. So it inflicts those emotions of something smooth. Foxman, singakhala log drum. Kanyiwa nje, kafiwa nje. We are good. Yeah, that's my answer.
No, I appreciate
Oh
it.
wait,
Um, I,
so
I love the title ukuthi mangihleka mina uthi uyarasa lo. But I love it. I love it. No, let's pack it there. Let's just give others a chance to ask questions. Yabo. Talking about
yeah,
vocalists, we have one vocalist Lana Vanco that I'd love you to work with. Ususbongi down there. Bongi
lovely.
Indlovukazi. But yeah. Yeah, she'll
You
come
sure?
through. She will come and talk to you. Yeah, man, she's a pretty dope vocalist that I'd love you to work with.
I'll be open
Nami
to that, man.
myself in ungifake studio nami ngikhona
You
ngiyazifaka
sure? You
nami.
sure? I get. I
Yeah,
get.
but yeah,
Azish.
sipake it up Udwamine. Thank you very very much. Sizobuya with more questions. Ithi nje for manje sipake it up uthi. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, cool. No, perfect.
Vox.
Shout out to Puga the DJ. Yes, he's a DJ and a producer and a sound engineer. So I look forward really to that collab. It would be lovely. It would be so amazing.
True.
A collab between Upuga himself and our guest this evening, Vanco. Just to mention, next week we're gonna have Uzano. Yes, we're gonna have Uzano with
Oh
Everything
man,
House Music. Oof, Vanga. Hey, Vanco. Hi. Siyakhuphuka kancane kancane. And it's all a love thing. I mean, we are fans. We are just passionate about this thing. We're just gathering information and using it to propel our own lives and our own visions and our
true,
own thoughts as people who host spaces. And I think because we're interviewers, we're broadcasters, we need all the wisdom. Honestly, we need
that's
all the
true,
wisdom that we
that's
can
true.
get. So next week is Uzano, and then the following week, yeah, we're gonna have Nestic Groove, and then on the 23rd of June, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have Uprenda Mtambo. Yes, on the music
True.
nights. So we dwell all over the place in actual fact. So from house music to hip hop to R&B to soul, uh,
No,
try
that's
by all
beautiful, man.
means to cover all the genres. Ukuthi bangathi abantu ayi uVox yamazi nehouse njalo nje.
It's true. Actually, Zano, I had a song with Zano, special one for me as well. Yeah, that one is I have to say.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible. Thank you
yeah,
for sharing that.
yeah.
Right now, I'll share the mic with Lloyd. Lloyd is also the host of the Deeper Space. As I said, this Friday, we're going to have Tyre Jones. We're going to have Reddick the Myth, as well as T Maestro. Yes, that's the lineup for this Friday. Lloyd Inja, please unmute your mic.
Bare ke Voxile Vancora.
Voxy.
Sure, Vanco, how's it?
So, Putunjana, you could.
I'm good, man. You know what I wanna know? Ne? I wanna know
Uh,
what do you appreciate about your craft.
what I appreciate about my craft is what it makes the other person feel.
Nice.
So if you feel happy after listening to my track, I think I've made it, man.
Have you ever met any fans that told you that your music changed their lives?
Yeah, music lovers. I don't like the word fans. Just for the record, I'm just saying it. Yeah, it feels like, yeah, music lovers. Yeah, I do meet a lot of people, my music lovers. They're like, oh man, some had depression, some were suicidal. They're like, yo, this song spoke to me about this and this and this. It makes me feel happy. So I was like, wow. And people travel from different parts of the world coming to see me, and they're like, yo, you inspire me because of this and this. So it's yeah, man, it's overwhelming, and I'm grateful for that.
Did it ever trigger you to be emotional when that happened?
Um, hey, I'll be honest with you. I'm grateful for it. The emotional side of things, hey, it's a bit tricky because in those moments, ne, your head is just all over, but you're just shocked and amazed by everything. That damn, this guy says this song made them feel like this. Wow. Okay, amen. Thank God. And then now you have to jump on the stage, and also when you're dealing with things, they're already. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, not really.
Makes sense. And what are some of the biggest challenges you face as a producer?
Sometimes the balance between life and the music side. So what I mean by that is the surroundings for me as a producer are important. So my friends, what you eat, where you are in life, what's your bank account balance, things like that. They might um, they might speak a different language to your production. They all affect your production. So yeah, those are challenges, I think, experience.
Now, the commercial demands of the industry. How do you balance them with your artistic vision when you produce your music?
What Philippine 40 multi commercial what?
Commercial demands, like us as music lovers, you tend to see maybe let's say someone who's inspiring you out there, and then you decide, or you know what, this guy's making this type of genre, and he's making more money. Maybe I can tweak in a few things and do something similar to him. Yeah, but and Lerena as fans robots or Naman. Yeah, your last album or your last EP, it was not nice. Yeah, well, those type of things. How do you balance them with your artistic vision when you're now producing your music?
So I think Foxman, I would just link it to, there's a chat I once had with Foxman that this thing that we do, it's a mix of the craft itself and your character as a human being. So if you are a person that doesn't want to be corrected, so we call each other people that don't want to be corrected. We have ego. Sometimes someone can correct you and you it's not working, but you still want to go through it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a balance. There's a time when you know is, let me give you a chance to what this person is saying. So to answer you, with the kind of character that I have and with my background, because I come also, the one thing I forgot to mention is before I was doing music, I'm a qualified quantity surveyor, property real estate developer. I used to work. I've built schools. I've been part of projects that build schools, hospitals, warehouses for the country. So you work with people, and people also is a hot man, and you're a young kid, reporting to you, and you report to younger people, and because of this thing. So what that does, it builds a character that, say, when you building a product, so relating into music, a product, it's a song in the music world, and in construction world, a product could be a hospital, could be a mall, could be something. You have to work as a team together. And what does that mean? That means you need to hear each other and understand each other, and self-belief as well in that. So for me, I'm not going to be driven by what A is doing or B is doing. But what I can do, I can reach out to A and B and pick up lessons that are like, I say, my man, I like how you do your drums. I like how you do your synth. How do you do them? Oh, okay, cool. Maybe let me incorporate that into my production. And that's how I think eventually I would come with a different product as Ufanko. So yeah, I think, did I answer your question?
You did, you did. Now that you've mentioned teamwork, and Buga's mentioned that Sispongi is a vocalist. How do you collaborate with other artists and music producers?
So collaboration, um, it's a journey. There's no standard formula. That then I will just tell you my journey. So from the start, I've loved this thing. It's love. I'm driven by love and the craft itself. So collaboration, it's a very deep thing for me. I have to really like what you do. So I feel like we live in a world where just because you're a musician, we just have to jump in studio. So now are we saying that just because we do podcasts, we do podcasts and we all talk, now we must work? No. There's a story behind it. There's a reason why Foxman is there, Miss LP, yourself, and the whole team. But there's a balance between the craft and also the character of the person you are going to work with. Are you a nice person? Are you a kind person? Sometimes someone is not even talented, Joe, but they're a very amazing person. And that motivates you as a producer that, oh, wow, this person has a beautiful heart. I'm motivated to even go beyond my creativity as a person. So to answer your question, my process with production, it's more, I would say, hey, I don't want to use this word, man, but spiritual. But hey, I'm not really a spirit. I don't like to classify myself as a spiritual being. I don't want to confuse abantu nje ukuthi sengithi ngihamba ngamadlozi manje ngihamba ngemoya. No, not really. What I mean by that, I have to feel the energy. It has to be right. You'll feel a clean heart with good intentions, and that's how I move. So when it comes to production, and that, okay, you're talented, wow, brilliant, okay, cool. What character? We warm up to people, and I warm up to people, and yeah, and that's how I eventually get to collaborating with people.
Siyabonga. Voxy. Toragama, never meets a Voxy, Hey,
Hey,
Toragama.
hey. Shout out to Lloyd. Shout out to Lloyd, brother. Thank you for
For
coming
sure.
through and being a part of everything house music. Vanko, I want to read out a few comments in the comment box section. So one says, great advice. I love all types of music. House music since house music since I can remember. I'm not an artist, but what you said, it definitely can be applied to life in general. So that was
Beautiful, man.
Coco Brown Skin. Then Ukumete says, Vanko really blessed us go Spring Fiesta. His set was dope, man. With that Shubile track by ethi yashisa leyo number. Fake nemlilo futhi Ukumete lapha. And then last one from Tlosira. Tlosira says, the song is Kupu. How did it come about? Because he sees the feature with Uboy, Given Zulu. Yeah, Nazana Ganjan. How do you know one another? That's what he's asking.
Sure, Chloe. Given Zulu has become part of I would say, my musical journey currently, as I've mentioned that we're forever evolving people and we meet different people. So I met Given through a mutual friend of ours, Olundi Mlonyeni. He's also a jazz musician. So he introduced me to Given. So Mklampe, I'd say 2016 there. And yeah, man, that's like good energy. Also being willing to learn because Given Zulu is a highly talented guy. He knows music so much. And he's the guy behind the guitars you hear in my music is Given Zulu. Even the A&R is Given Zulu. So Iskubu, to answer Chloe's question, Iskubu came about, I was just chilling with him. And then I was like, mfethu ngifuna ushaya isigubhu nje get blind. Because I really like the word isigubhu. Because I think it's our word that we like to refer to songs with big sound. With quantum bass, the kind of vibe. And so Ugiven he's a kid at heart, just like me. You know, you don't take things seriously, and then we started chanting. And then all of a sudden, wathi sasha isigubhu mfana wabona manje sayidedela. And I was like, bro, you should put that thing on the mic. He doesn't like singing, and then Ukiven he just gave it the benefit of the doubt, and then it's a thing now, Sasha school, but when I'm say that. So yeah, that's how we met, and that's how we got to make the song Iskoop.
Thank you so much for that, Vanko. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Before I give the mic to the next player on our team yethu
Kakhulu.
ayashisa awuyayibona iyavutha kancane futhi
Blind.
No, shout out for that. Before we go to Echo Pulsive, I'd like us to play a song, and then we'll come back to Echo Pulsive. Vanko, we might elapse 10 o'clock. Is that cool? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's have fun, man.
Yes, thank you so much. Nzwile bafethu. Let's have some fun. So the song that I'd like us to play now, we are an hour and 43 minutes into it. So we're gonna play the upcoming release, Hoya. Am I saying
You
it
sure?
right?
Yeah, where?
And before I play it, please just give us a summary about it and when are we actually gonna be able to listen to it? I mean streaming, and when is it gonna be available? Thank you.
Okay, so Hoya is a track I featured with Tundi. So Tundi is a guy from originally from Nigeria but based in the UK, London. So it happens that I've moved management for my career to work with a guy called Dumi. He manages me. He's from London, UK. And what Dumi did, he just sent me a random video of a guy singing in a shop. I think it was a bottle store. So bekadakiwe lo put, and then he's singing in Yoruba, that language, you know. The I think it's Yoruba. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then I liked what came out of the video, and then he says, can I send him a beat so he can record something?" And then I sent him a bit, and then he actually put that guy he met in his bottle store into the studio, and then he recorded vocals a lot. I think, yeah, he was also having fun, and then I had to rework the song, and then there's a tagline called Hoya. So when I played in Nigeria, I had to ask them, what does Hoya mean? So Hoya means let's go, but also there's a spiritual way to say that it's a track to uplift and motivate people, you know, just cool vibes, good vibes. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And release date?
So the release date is we're looking at July 2nd. No, no, not July 2nd. July 7th.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So if you're in the space today, you're listening to an exclusive song that's going to be out the next month or so. More than a month, in fact, more than a month. We haven't even gotten into June. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be quite thrilled uh, today to listen to this song. Bugatti DJ, please play some music, brother. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bongiwe Intofogazi. Everything house music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeling. Intact your souls have no peeling. Everything house music, casting spells on unlearned beings, bringing them to the underground. These are the grooves that are worthy. House music is where it's at. Believe me, everything, house music.
Everything house music.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Èmi alára ni, èmi alára mi ni ó. Mo dàbí ara ni ó, èmi alára ni ni ó. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Everything house music.
Oníbàdọ́là ní Oníbàdọ́là ní sẹ́kẹ̀dé Oníbàdọ́là ní sẹ́wó. Oníwàtúndọ̀là ní Onítúndọ̀là ní sẹ́kẹ̀dé kó pé kó pé.
This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music. Everything House Music. Everything House Music.
And that was Hoya featuring Tunde. That's a song that's coming out in the next couple of weeks' time. 6 weeks, in actual fact, to promo that Vanco has shared with everything house music today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Vanco. Right now, I'll share the mic with Echo Pulsive. As I said earlier, Echo Pulsive actually released the music on a jazz record label. Imagine that. Like, that doesn't happen just overnight. Yes, it doesn't. So, Echo Pulsive, my brother, please unmute your mic. Let us hear you today. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna say Voxy, so Voxman. Ngoba I know you respect my name. My name is Echo Pulsive, like you said. A lot of people miss it, but to explosive and as explosive come gap. But yeah, it's Echo Pulsive. Vanco, you good, brother?
I'm good, my brother who grand.
I I'm at my best mood these days in GI.
You sure? That's bong, eh?
Everything. In fact, I'm in such a good mood. After
That's
this, I'm going to send you a gift. Just departing
Danko.
some songs. Not
Danko.
as a promo. You don't have to play them. It's not a demo. Just for you to listen. Maybe they'll heal you. Yeah, well,
Thank you. I know. That's bong.
but yeah, I'm usually technical, but everyone has asked such amazing questions, man. I had so many questions while they were asking, and then they asked that question. It's like they were in my mind, but then, you know, it's cool. So my question today is, you've been huge for a few years now, and I wanted to know, does it get easier? Does any of it get easier? Like, does the production get easier? Do you ever think, hey, will I ever make a better song than this now? And then you release your next EP, and then in your next, it's like, will I ever make anything better than this?
Okay. Oh, that's the question, eh? Do you still have anything to? Hello?
Yeah, that is the question. That's just those questions in your wood. Does it get better or easier? And also, in terms of reproduction, that confidence as it gets easier or better, do you ever feel like it's getting easier even to produce or to perform or whatever the case?
So your confidence level will always be questioned because you care. So if you really care so much for this thing that you do, you always question so many things about yourself. It stops being about what the consumers want. It just becomes about you. You just create this cloud in your head that it's coming easy or it's hard or whatever, but because you care, that's why it's always going to be a challenge. So to answer your question, for me, it's always a challenge for me since then until today, because I care so much about what I do and I love it so much, to a point where I want it to be so perfect, however that looks in my head. So yeah, did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And to follow up on that, you travel around the world a lot
Mm-hmm,
and play in festivals and clubs.
mm-hmm.
How do you breathe from all of that work? What do you do as a DJ to blow off some steam?
Um, so I play basketball. So when I used to when for the efforts studying whatever I studied back in the days, not so long ago, just yeah now. Hey, now ngikhuluma ngathi ngizomdala nje sengiyithayo manje. I know. So I play basketball. It helps me. I like hanging around with my family, my partner, if she's not gigging. You know, just doing things outside music. So that's how I refresh. And sometimes I revisit my old um, network of friends or life, which is construction, real estate, and property. Just changing people, also my circle of people I interact with. So it helps me, it keeps me grounded and reset.
Sure, 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 sure. So, going into production,
Hmm.
what do you think about changing sound? Like when an artist has found their sound, how long do you think it should take before you transition? Maybe your next album sounds different from your last, or whatever the case. What do you think about that?
I think you need to do it in order to see this, to see what's up. Because now, if you try to, we live in a world that's so fast out here. Today, you do a piano song. You've been an Afro tech, Afro house guy. Today, you just do a piano song, and then next thing you're starting to trend on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Boom. That's your journey, and that's your story. So, to answer your question, you have to do it in order to know. If you don't do it, you don't know, and you won't learn. So, you must do however you feel.
Yeah. And do you ever have your artist block? I wanted to ask this especially. Do you ever feel like you have time to produce, but you can't make anything right now?
Yeah, it does. So I think Ben Kumano, Lloyd, or somebody was asking me something along those lines. So that's why I said, as a producer, it's I'd say entertainment as a whole, creatives in general. It's an unfortunate profession where you have to show up. The difference is with other professions. That's just my thinking. You could be a bus driver, or maybe you do something that's very systematic, or you work on a site, but you're fighting at home with your wife, or mhlambe time ushonile, or you're dealing with things that challenge your emotions, I would say, in your mental state so much. So you can deliver in some of these professions. Whereas as a creative, it's a tough industry where it affects you. For me, personally, I'll speak for myself. Yeah, so my surroundings, what I eat, how I feel, and my emotional and mental state affects my production. So I try to protect that as much as possible. So basically, protecting my peace. So I won't do anything that can kill my mood or my peace. So, for example, I'm not gonna go pop bottles at a club. That's not my lifestyle. That's not who I represent. It's not me. It doesn't make me feel good. There's nothing wrong in those that do it. They feel good about it. But for me, it's not my life. So I'd rather stay at home. We can chill, have fun. Shayu pray nje. I appreciate that. I'm grateful, and I keep my headspace sane. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Lifestyle. I'm sure you get tired considering that you work in these spaces. So a healthy lifestyle, man. Do you produce better when you're at peace or when you're under like an emotional state?
So I haven't really actually put like check how I produce in different states. So I just made a choice in myself that I'll have to do whatever I do. I'll always show up for this thing that I love, because for me, I left my job. Look, I went I studied for 7 years in my life until master's level for like real estate and stuff. And this is the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life, to be doing this thing I call music and this thing that I love. So I show up, even if things are bad so badly, I show up and I find a way to do something. So even if it means today I will put a baseline, ngafaka baseline. That's it. If I get a block, I reach out to people. Like Ogiven Zulu is one guy that is on my speed dial, and I'm honest with him. I'm like, yo, man, there's no big head or ego. I'm getting a block because I don't feel okay mentally and emotionally. What do you think would work? And then you could say something that can boost my confidence, or say a joke that can make me laugh, or even my partner or someone, your family member. So yeah, that's my process.
I get you, man. Kunzima, this production thing, it requires your soul and everything. So my last question, or my last two questions: what's the biggest festival you've ever played at worldwide, and how did that feel?
The biggest festival, maybe Ultra South Africa 2020, but I was opening. I was playing for I was playing for the grass, and it felt nice at that time. It felt nice. I mean, there's thousands of people that attend there. To answer your question, that's the biggest festival in terms of capacity. But my time slot was the grass. And to answer your question, option B, I would say um, there's a festival I once played in Switzerland. Yeah, maybe 2,000, 3,000 people. There I played at a peak time when it was full as the main act. That felt so amazing to be able to showcase me and them receiving me. So yeah.
Hey, sorry, just one more thing, Voxman. Uh, I know you do something like events. It's the ALGRA. How did that come about?
So I'm yet to do proper events. Say ALGRA. I've only done one event. I could say two events. So I haven't. Angaqali nje. I haven't started properly. So to answer your second question, ALGRA came about. It's my feeling it's my feeling that it has to be a first of all our A from the ALGRA name. A means acceptance. L stands for love. G stands for gratitude. R stands for respect, and the other A stands for acknowledgement. So these values are values that each and every artist or any human being could desire or we love. We all want to be loved, respected, acknowledged, accepted, gratification. So in that space, Algra, it's a place for those. That's what it represents. So anyone who's a creative, you are there. We don't care you are big or small. That's what we represent at Algra. And that's the narrative I'm going to be building forward to make this path a different path for the next generation and cutting not to make this thing look so hard, but it must be fun. Make it fun and have a smooth path for everyone and a good ecosystem. So that's Algra for you. Yeah.
Right, man. Right. Shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing Algra grow, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely support. Not because we love music. I love music. I'll be there.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Thank you, man. It's a mutual.
uh,
Would appreciate your support.
yeah, definitely I will be there. Before I pass on the mic to back to Uvox, man, I just want to say, great music, man. I love everything you've done, but most recently, Slide is the song that touched me. I think Nanteka Giona with E Kusus. That song is
Yes.
amazing.
That's your
It's
noble.
perfect.
Thanks, Mufet.
It's perfect. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks, man. Appreciate
I'm
it.
pretty sure we'll meet very soon. Very soon, Jay. I'll tell you what yeah, I mean. But
I would
otherwise,
love it.
shout out to you, man, for coming through. And yeah, back to the host.
And thanks for having me, man.
Sharp, sharp.
The issue.
And that was Echo Pulsive all the way from the KZN.
Washa.
I suggest Vanco, yes, when he says listen to the music, listen to the music. We had this man last week, Spacey. I Bezbuya. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago now. I
So,
Bezbuya.
so,
I trust me, Vanco. Trust me.
so.
This man, super, super talented.
That's born. That's born. I'm looking forward to meet him.
Okay, I'm gonna give the mic to Koji. Koji Poji, and then Georgie Poji. Ish. And then we'll do a last round and then we call it a night. Is that still okay with you, Vanko?
I'm good. I'm good. But I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Whatever makes until you're happy. Then I'm happy.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Before Georgie, what do you need, Vanko, as an artist and also as a lover of music? Um, as an influencer also in the music scene, in the Afrotech scene, what do you need from us, your music lovers? Yes, what else do you need from us, and perhaps what else should we do for the improvement and the betterment of of your sound and just as Afrotech on its own? Thank you.
To continue loving what I do, myself and my other friends, peers, and continuing supporting what we do in different ways. So it could be social media, but the biggest of all is to tell your friend to tell their other friends to tell their other friends about us. That's the first. That's the biggest step for me, and that will mean the world to me.
Shout out. So Kubek. Asindla. Asindla.
Asibonge.
Naganjana.
For
Shout out
sure.
to China, China Chameleon, great man indeed,
Hey,
legend. Hey,
man, a good soul, man, right there.
when you talk about top spinners in the country, top five,
Premium,
I think. I top five.
the premier.
I'll be seeing him in the next. So he's flying down in the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's gonna be playing here alongside Kid Funk. I've actually never met Kid Funk. We're actually gonna meet for the very first time.
Yeah, character, fun one.
But yeah, hopefully he unblocks me when I meet him. Hopefully.
Also, so you blocked you.
Yes, he blocked me everywhere.
Interesting.
But
Hmm.
I'm gonna meet him. So xoxa mina naye so shayisana ngamakhanda. So
Hmm.
ilungisa le ndaba.
Yeah, man. Music brings us all together as one.
As short as I am, uzothola i-crate zizoshayisana ngamakhanda.
I see, I see. Hey, lapho ke, hey, as terrace.
No, absolutely.
So,
Let's pass on the mic to Coach.
so,
Hey, Georgie Porge, please unmute your
Hey,
mic, brother.
guys, how are you?
how you
Oh, you're
doing,
good,
George?
man.
No, one love. Hey, Venko, man. I don't know if you remember, you following me on Insta,
Uh-huh.
and that's actually how I got to know your music. One love.
Man,
And
big ups.
sure, I think it's gonna be 3 questions depending how you answer, but it's 2 questions, right? The first one is we are in 2023. You know how it is with social media, how TikTok is kind of the influencer now in terms of the mainstream sound that the people are listening to, etc. I want your honest opinion and don't be biased about it. Would you say for any producer that would be on the come up right now that a determinant or an entrance into being known and being famous or being recognized for your sound, no matter what sound it is TikTok vibes? Is it, like back in the day where that one hit can open doors for you? So that's the first question. What do you think would be a determinant for any producer right now or an artist to kind of tap into there and be recognized and start getting gigs and followers?
Okay. So to answer your question, I think I'm a believer of doing things in order for you to actually know. You know what I mean? But then, in order for you to understand, so I can't say TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. What I know is we live in a world where music is no longer sonic. If music has become visual, it's just me. Maybe I stand to be corrected. So when I mean by visual, it's a balance of visual and sonic. So you need to present something nice, just like ushukela packaged in woolies. Okay, let's say water. Water that's being sold here on the mainland or maybe on a shop is different when it's being sold on a plane. That's how I see music lately. So to answer your question, you have to do it in order to see, but just make sure your product is highly pleasing. It's do you. We need to. I need to. We people need to see you in your packaging, of in how you present your product. So if it's a good song, you have to present it as a dope song. So you need to also put effort in how it looks. You also need to put effort on how you look. We're not saying go and buy Louis Vuitton, go and buy these big brands. No, you could go to Pep. You could go to shop. We could go to ShopRite, Pick and Pay, or whatever. Just look presentable. Buy a ski banje, a black or mnyama nje. You look presentable. You take a picture. We all have a friend who has a high res quality. Putting that effort, asking favors. That's my journey. I've done it, and I'm still doing it. So equally, we can all do it.
So just to box you a bit, so are you saying there isn't one specific determinant
Nope,
for any cat out there to make it?
bro. There is nothing today. I would like to know: are you a producer or a DJ or what?
I'm 70% DJ, 30% producer because I do gigs all the time, and it's niche to a
Okay,
point that
okay.
I'm kind of big in my own space, and I'm wondering, why I'm not even famous, bro. But there's that consistency. So I always kind of study good. Then when the people coming up and all that, what is the determinant that makes me even want to book them maybe at my events? You know?
So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. So me and you and everyone, we are the same. It's just that we're operating in different spaces. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And understand. Just like I look at music as a driver's license. We can all have driver's licenses. It doesn't mean we're gonna drive the same car, and it doesn't mean that we're gonna park the same car in the same places. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is to say there's so many layers about music. You have to do it in order for you to answer this question. So when you do it, when you try, sometimes you can try to have amazing content, but your followers don't like amazing content. Your followers want your music, or maybe they want to see you kissing your child, or mhlampe dropping your child to school if you have a kid, or maybe something else that's not music related. That's your journey. So you have to go through that journey and find a way to bring those people to what you actually want them to listen to. So it's for you to find out. It's no one has the answers for these things, but the answer that I can have is, did you do it? Then you come to me and you're like, Vanko, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not working. Then that's a good start.
Okay, one last. Oh, and then here's the last question. Then,
Yeah.
um, uh, if I'm going to give a personal opinion, and no insult to anyone in the space right now, it's just a personal opinion, no judgment. Is that I fear the very TikTok and social media and how music is consumed today is kind of making let me not use the word stupid, but it has I feel like it has taken away the quality that people want in music. We've had so many songs trend, and even at our gigs, these people are demanding those songs. But when you find out from the background how short it took for the song to be made, the quality is low. It's not much effort was made into it, but because of some specific consumption on social media, then the song trended. One girl maybe was shaking her booty, and the song is big now, and it then resonates into the people, into society, and it kind of makes me nervous as to what happened to our ear as a community. And I mean all 56 million, 57 million of us as South Africans. What happened to our ear that we no longer decipher what quality and what non-quality is? I'll give you a simple example. I was with Mahal Keys in studio on last week Thursday, and you can see that this man is kind of taking time. He works so hard on the song, and I won't mention name, but one of the guys who are now trending in my piano was at his studio the day before, and he was honest and was like, dude, certain people came here, did 2 3 hours of a beat, started singing some funny thing, and that thing is already trending because he's there on TikTok posting it. Whereas he was more into the craft, balancing, the production in the music, the mixing and mastering. So the concern I have right now, Vanko, is that um, we've become so consumed in being one dimensional with our ear that I think we've lost the quality as consumers. And I see it because now at gigs, if you don't play that piano thing that is trending, it's bad. Live performers have lost their income because live instruments aren't that popular anymore. So I don't know. I just want your opinion. For me, it's kind of painful because I mean I studied music, and it's deeper than just making a song within 3 hours with artificial intelligence. So what do you think then the future is going to happen with the consumption of how we do it here in South Africa? Because I'm worried that we don't care about quality anymore, and it kills the vast amount of music that we can have, except for focusing on sort of one genre or one trend.
Okay, cool. So I like the fact this the last sentence that you said to me. Gore, you studied music, and it's deeper than that, ne? And we basically consuming things that are not up to quality, and that's how you view things, isn't it? Am I right?
Sure, sure.
I studied for 7 years professionally. I have papers, but tenders get dished out to people that have know-how, that don't know anything to do the thing that I went to school for, so that I could save my country and provide those services. But other people get given these things. That's been my journey, and it's also painful. But do you know what that taught me about life? The life experience I got from that. There is no one owes you anything, and by that we mean even the thing that you say it's quality. Who are you to say yes, it's quality because you went to school for it? But remember, this thing that we do is about demand and supply. If the market doesn't feel your thing, they don't feel your thing, they don't relate with it. You can give it to the best sound engineer, you can give it to the best singer songwriter. If the people don't connect with it, they don't connect with it. Sorry. If someone is going to come and do something in 2 minutes and put it out, and the people connect with that, I'm sorry, my brother. I also go through that. Someone is going to spend 2 minutes. So, moral of the story is the people decide what they want. And back to your story, I can't even say we like bad quality or anything. I'll give you an example. This podcast that we're doing, this, look how we're doing. Look at the people that are here. As I'm speaking now, there's 37 people. These 37 people can, they are precious for this thing, for everyone. Because these 37 people can go and tell these people how amazing this platform is. It can make changes for someone. This thing could trend and next thing blow up. But did Foxman and the team, they were like, no, we must put Vanco into a shoot, clean up his image or what, or clean up this, that. No, they didn't do that. They just said, Vanco, send us a image. What they represent for that. They don't care what the people, I don't think the team cares about what people think. What they care is what they represent and what they're trying to communicate. And the people that follow them, follow them. So back to you. This industry, nobody owns it. Somebody created it. The same way you are doing it, somebody is saying, "Altiam, your quality, you and your quality, young boy, young teenage." So, who are we to say this is quality and this is not quality? All we can only do as creatives is present our craft. Say, this is my product, and see what the market wants, and you build from there. And you have to play the game. This is what we're not honest about as artists. If you are not dressing well, you must go dress well. If you're not smelling well, we're not saying go buy high end. You could go buy Mambioting Rollon or Grand Guy. Grand Gap. If you can't play the game. But in playing the game, you can still find yourself in that. So yeah, I don't know. Did I answer your question fully?
No, my brother, you answered my question and you were very straightforward. You didn't even want to say, "I let me not hurt his feelings." Ungishaya ngeqiniso nje inhloko. Yabo, and I appreciate that very much because I think even if I wanted to come into the scene now as a producer, I'll have to think about what you said very deeply, you know.
But
So
but it's not just as a
yeah,
producer, it's just a general thing. I also go through it. I'll ask you one question. Well, it's a conversation we're having. If you're going to book an artist, I'll give you a simple scenario. If your artist that you booked, the crowd loved that artist, but you didn't like the set, are you gonna book that artist again?
for business, yes, but personally, no, I wouldn't.
Do you understand now?
I get you. I get you.
But you have to eat again.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Yeah. So you're gonna book the guy that's going to bring you people. At the same
Yes.
time, since you say you are true to the craft, then you look for that favorite artist, you pay him. with that person who brings in money.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So it's a balance. So the guy's bringing you money, you are having fun. You bring the guy that you want to be part of that in that up and coming, the so-called up and coming, and people grow. You bring an ecosystem, and it goes, and things work, move.
No, warning it to Pedro too.
Sure.
I love your answer very much for sure.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, just the last, but this is something I wanted to share is that because I see Chama Chameleon is on board here.
Yeah, bravo.
Miss LP, I know her style of playing. Boloid are lovers of music. I think personally, I feel the way it's people have built the culture, around Amapiano and the dance moves, the dress codes. I think also it should happen with the other genres for Afrotech, for example, with you, because I remember Voxman had a Black Coffee on the Spaces, and it was a beautiful interview to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and he said we need to be creating the platforms for the specific music right here in this country the same way it happens that side. There must be specific promoters for the specific genre, specific festivals for the specific genre, so that we can all eat, because we'll be able to kind of say, you know what, I'm going to play for 1,000 people to 5,000 people, but they all love Afrotic. It's not a matter of
Yes.
it's a club, and it's about what's trending, and it's about what people are listening to when they drink, but they'll be there for the love of that specific genre. And I think ever since that thing in Kulma Coffee in this space, it has taught me to actually create platforms for sounds that maybe aren't mainstream but have a market. And I've learned now how to build a market. I have different shows. I have deep house shows now, and I have the normal shows where everybody can come, and it's
Oh, that's
growing me
dope.
as a person as well. So I think whoever's in the space now, it's just something I want to encourage, that we should be pushing the culture. Chama Chameleon, bro, push the culture. I don't know whether it must be a dress style, it must be certain type of videos, but besides the music, since we are in a space or in an age where video content also plays a role, there must be that Afrotech video content that we can make stylish, so that even the younger ones coming up can want to join this family, and we can grow the music of house music. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you, man. Best wishes.
Shout out to Georgie Poji. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining the space. Thank you for the submission. I always look forward to such submissions where someone has been here for 2 hours, then they finally say something. They finally say something that's really, really good and
Yeah.
constructive. So shout out to George. And just to mention
So,
also, as the deep house space, we've started something really, really cool down here. Right here, Kokailicha in the Western Cape, because I'm the
it's
one who's
born.
based
Well done, man.
down here. And in the next weeks, as I said, we're gonna have China. So China is gonna be playing for Deep House Space very soon for the very first time ever. He's been a
Ah, man.
guest, and now he's gonna be playing for it. Imagine that.
That's dope. Where in the Western Cape?
Kylish,
Oh, Kalish. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Lovely, man.
elokishini straight phakathi.
Away. I know. Hopefully, we'll grace that place soon.
Nah, definitely. Should happen. Should
For
happen.
sure. For sure.
So as I said, I'm gonna take the last rounds, but before last round, let's play another song. Never Vanco. So I say right. You play a
Number one,
song.
Buffo. That's it.
Ikesti so our DJ has, let me see what song we have queued. Okay, we have Uluto queued. I mean, you talked about it, so I thought let's put it in, let's play it, and then as we close, I think we're gonna close with Desire, which is one of your recent releases.
Yeah.
So Phuka, bro wami, ngicela udlale umculo mfana. Vie. Siyabonga. Phuka. Oh, Phuka. Oh, okay, Phuka. Angishanga ama-thumbs down. Okay, I wonder what's happening. Okay, but it's okay. Okay, it's fine, Phuka. Um, let's take some last questions, some last remarks, perhaps for our guest. I think Phuka maybe we should load shedding or something. Yes. Ish.
Ginga.
Ay, inking aziningi in South Africa, guys. But
Yeah.
let's start with Lloyd. Lloyd, Incha, any last question from your side for our guest and perhaps your last remark too?
I don't have any question. My last remarks, di tla bolela ke Miss LP.
Miss LP. Zwile, susiphathela amalasi Lloyd. But I think Boga is ready to play a song again. Boga, are you ready? Hundreds. Boga, share number, bro. Yeah, boy.
Everything house music.
I'm saving my love for you. No loving between. One keep up machine. It's underline. Feeling ngabayini mina. Ngaphandle kothandolwane. Feeling ngabayini mina. Ngaphandle kothandolwane. Yeah. Give yini mina.
This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music.
Sawaka Boga. And that was Luto, a song by our guest. Yes, our guest tonight on Everything House Music, Vanco. And on that one, he featured Unjabulo Se. Was released in 2018. That Reflections EP. Shout out to everyone again. Thank you so much, so much for joining us. See, even this young legend, Umesh, Mesh Worldwide is here. We've had him a couple of times on Everything House Music. And I even remember when Vanco was on that interview with Jeff and Kita Amor, they actually mentioned that someone to look forward to look out for is Mash, and of course, he's doing really, really good. This man. Shout out to Mash and thank you for joining us, brother. Let's pass on the mic to Ecopulsive. Ecopulsive, brother, please give us your last remark and perhaps even your last submission for today. Thank you.
Sure, Vox. Yeah, it's been a great Tuesday, man. Shout out to our guest. It's a very special interview. It's always great hearing from more experienced people. Listen to see Chase I, not just chase without direction, but chase and look like it's bigger con. So it's been great, and the reason why I wanted to send him some stuff over Uncle is because since kunamanye artist even there, is because my music started changing when I was collaborating with people and hearing different people ongabazi coming up gives that yabo ukuthi there's this sound that umuntu nje is bringing. Let me try and incorporate that into my sound, yabo. So yeah, we'll continue to listen to music. We love umculo, especially that people finding new people all the time. We'll keep pushing. It's everything house music. We always hear every Tuesday. And thanks to everyone who joined us. Back to Vox.
Shout out to Ecopulsive. Please go check out his music out. His latest single released under a jazz record label. Only He is out now and is available. Go check that out. Amazing song from this amazing team player on everything house music. Let's pass on the mic to Pora, our DJ for the evening. Pora, please give us your last remark and perhaps your last submission for tonight's edition of Everything House Music. Thank you.
Olo. No, we're still here. We're still here. Everything house music, of course. Shout out to Mesh, man. Shout out to Mesh. I was actually with him at the event, at the music Africa Rising Music Conference. Yeah, which I was with him, man. Shout out to him, man. Lovely guy, humble guy as well, man. But nevertheless, thank you to each and everyone who pulled up for us today. As always, we always do this at certain times. Of course, when we have someone for you, we'll always deliver. And shout out to Vanko, shout out to you, Khotman Nami. As I told you, Khotman doesn't necessarily mean ukuthi, umncane or umdala. It goes with experience. And in this case, you were able to share with us a lot of experience, tons of experiences. If it was according to us, Fana, we could have went for 3 hours maybe, or even 4 hours. But as we know, again, you are a very busy person. We need to let you go, and you're busy. And yeah, kill us with tunes, bless us with tunes, heal our souls. As you know, we have so many crying souls out here, but music can heal. As your guys always say, man. But without any further ado, thank you to each and everyone. Shout out to our team as well. For pulling up as always. They never disappoint. But yeah, thank you. Let's do it again. Next week. Yeah, next week. Yeah, next week. Let's do it again next week. But yeah, Vox. Nibe mnandi. Thank you, kakhulu, Vankofana, and I'll just get in touch with you regarding everything and le studio session nje. Maybe ngizovela no eco, maybe sovela no eco nje size lapho studio sokushayela around yabo.
Thank you for it.
Ngiyabonga nje,
Let's rock.
ngiyabonga.
So
Yeah,
okay.
I'll contact you lapho. Vox.
And that's the short chubby ninja, who's a DJ, sound engineer, radio guy, does a few things. Exceptional young man. If you're looking for a DJ, yes, you can book him. You can book him through me. I don't mind. At all. Let's give the mic to Georgie Poji. Georgie Poji, mfethu, afana ukukhulumile. Awujwayelanga ukufaka le space zokhuluma, yazi. But please give us a last remark, brother. Earth on Georgie. Okay, I think Georgie is taking a longer drinks break, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Georgie. Thank you for joining us. Miss LP, please give us your last remark, ma'am, for today, as well as perhaps your last submission. Thank you. Miss LP, mic check. Okay. Boga, am I audible?
Loud and clear, boy.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's not me. It's our team that is disappointing, but it's okay. So Miss LP is probably also just busy somewhere, but it's okay. It's okay. Before I get to Vanco, we thank you so much. So SPC will also give you the opportunity as our guest to give us your last remarks, and perhaps I always ask because we are so young in what we're doing, but we've been so consistent also, is that we need feedback regarding on perhaps on the procedure and how we go about actually giving you an interview and having a chat. The critiques, that's mostly valuable to all of us to know how to do this better and how to move on from this too. And perhaps there might be some words of wisdom that you'd like to share with us too. So this is your time to share that with us. That could also be added with. When can we expect perhaps music? We did play a song that you said is going to be released on the 7th of July. When can we see you playing next? Perhaps even in locally. We'll definitely love to know about that. And perhaps even socials and where your music is at for someone who's in the space today who doesn't know who Vanco is. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me. It was a wonderful evening. Just us having a conversation, just sharing this information and knowledge about umculo nje. And since you've said, I mean, we're young and vibrant and ambassadors of this thing we call loud house music. And yeah, man, you guys have created a dope platform and continue being great and amazing in your way. And we as artists, as creatives, will always be there to be part of this journey. Basically, a fuse between your journey and our journey, which will bring everything into light and South African music, African music to the world, and tomorrow a better, making a better tomorrow for the next generation, which is more important. And thanks to you, Voxman, and your team and everyone. And I don't really have and I wouldn't want to call it words of wisdom to whoever that's starting, but I could say it's a conversation that we have to have with ourselves as people. So whether you're a beginner in music or consistent, been doing this, I think the magic is in just doing it, having a clean heart, just minding your own journey, help those that help, and gravitate towards where you loved. And that goes to all creatives, even people that are doing something that has nothing to do with music. But yeah, so I believe in just gravitating towards those that love you and you love them back, and then you just keep it moving. And look, life is not smooth. It's impossible. There's no way you can have a smooth life. The challenges is what makes us is abantu. And we just have to be good, great people, amazing people, and being nice to one another. And yeah, man, shout out to you and the people, and most importantly, the people that have been listening, that have been through this journey for the past, camping at 3, yeah, 3 hours, which is good.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vanko. Thank you. It's an honor for us. It's a complete honor. As I said, you know, moving forward and trying to explore other ventures. I mean, we started compiling, curating um, lineups now, which is something really exciting.
Oh,
Uh,
that's dope.
so
Amazing.
so now people are gonna see us on the streets, right? Abantu abaningi, I've met a couple of producers who've where I've when I've asked them, why haven't you accepted our invite to our spaces? They're like, nina nas next, nina ngihlezi ngikhuluma kakhulu kuma-space. I'm like, okay, yeah. Now you're gonna see us strategically. Yeah. We're gonna be curating lineups and having events of our own, so that perhaps those people can be willing finally to be guests. But thank you so much, and I wish you all the best, man, regarding everything. One of these days, definitely should meet you, and we should have more conversations in person, and keep soaring, keep flying, man. I think right now the projection of Afrotech, of the type of music that you make, this electronic um, music is on a beautiful spiral. Like projection is crazy right now. It's flying each and everywhere. So thank you so much for gracing us, gracing everything house music. We'll talk
Mm.
soon, definitely, and perhaps in the next, I don't know when again, we can have you on everything house music.
Ah, no, man. This is amazing, man. Thank you so much for having me, and all the best to all of us in this industry that we're doing and in these platforms we're creating for one another. And it's all love, Bodhi. And yeah,
Sibongele kakhulu Vanko.
that's okay.
Before sidlala iculo lokugcina, sizame futhi uMiss LP nje kokugcina mhlawumbe uvukile. Miss
Mhlambe.
LP, are you still there? Hey, Miss LP ushile, but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Um, sengizomkhulumela ngithi siyabonga Afanko, siyabonga
I know,
kakhulu.
Azish, Mfethu.
So as we close off, we're gonna close off with Desire, another
Sure.
wonderful song from Uvanko.
Thank you, man. Thank
And
you,
shout
man.
out to each and everyone who's here. And please join us, yes, on Friday for the Deep House Space. If you're available next week on the 7th of June. Our first guest of the new month, the next month, next week, Wednesday, in fact. So you're not going to be Tuesday next week, it's going to be Wednesday with Uzano. And then on the next week after that, on the 13th, is going to be next Groove, and then we're gonna have Ubrenda Mtambo on the 20, I think it's the 22nd of June. So yeah, thank you so much to each and every person. Please keep safe, keep well, enjoy the rest of the evening and the week. And as always, don't let your friends listen to bad music when we are here. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Blessings.
Hi, my name is Bongiwe Intafogazi. Everything house music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeding. Intact your souls have no peeling. Everything house music. When I wake casting spells on unlearned beats. I can see you smiling at me and love. It races up my dopamine naturally. You give me all I need to start my day with. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. I can take you higher. I can take you higher. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. Delusional minds, I feel at ease. I need no disguise. I can be me. Spacing on clouds. Breathe with me. My blessings. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. Feed me with desire. I can take you higher. I can take you higher. on, this won't go, let's go higher. Keep me hold it so deep in this love, let's go higher. It's not impossible, we sure that we go higher. Sin, my blessing. It's my desire, giving you sweet love to take you higher. Give me all your signs. It's my desire, my blessing, my blessing. Take me with desire, take me with desire, take me with desire, take me with desire. I can take you higher, I can take you higher, I can take you higher, I can take you higher. Take me with desire, take me with desire, take me with desire, take me with desire. I can take you higher, I can take you higher, I can take you higher, I can take you higher. If Feed me with desire, music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeding. Intact, your souls have no peeling. Everything house, music, casting spells on unlearned beings, bringing them to the underground. These grooves are worthy, cause house music is where it's at. Believe me, everything house music.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Keep well. Stay blessed. Till next time. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop.